We got some more realignment conversation to have. Arizona is on the 1 yard line of joining the Big 12 Conference. The Big 12 accepted Arizona's application, and now they are waiting for the Board of Regents approval, is Arizona. So to put it simply, the way that I'm interpreting this, it is very likely that Arizona becomes the 14th member of the Big 12 Conference. So what does it mean for Arizona? What does it mean for the Pac-12? What does it mean for the Big 12? We're going to unpack that right now. Even though we're close to college football season, still going to talk about this because it's important to the sport, so that's why we're talking about it. Make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. We talk college football every single day. Want you a part of it. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at JD Piquel to stay up with everything we're doing here on this very show, The Hard Count. We appreciate you for that. So, what does this mean for the Pac-12 rather? I think it's just another hole in a ship that is continuing to take on water. And they're hanging on right now for dear life with Oregon and Washington. I'll touch on that just a little bit in a second. Things are pretty fluid right there, so things could change from the time we record this to when more news comes out and when this video is posted. But like I was saying, the Pac-12 is just a boxer that is continuing to take punch after punch after punch. Oklahoma and Texas, they both leave. Boom, boom. 2 big body shots right there. And then you have Colorado leave to the Big 12, another body shot. And then you got Arizona leave, another body shot. In my opinion, the knockout blow would be that Oregon and Washington would leave, and there's some smoke around that. Now there's some feeling that they might not leave. As far as Oregon and Washington goes, I am not going to believe that it is a done deal, that they're staying in the Pac-12 until the 2024 season comes back around and they're playing in the Pac-12 conference. So much moving pieces, so much that could change. But as of right now, there's some smoke that they could potentially stay. Again, like I said, I'm a little bit slow to trust that because of how quickly these things tend to change and how quickly news seems to go from one spectrum to the other in terms of what's going on within conference realignment. But for Arizona, I mean, this is huge. This is absolutely huge because you look at where the Pac-12 stands right now with the media rights deal. You might have to get Apple Plus or some other obscure streaming service or lesser, to be real, lesser network to be able to watch Pac-12 football. And if you're Arizona, that becomes a very difficult pitch to make in recruiting. Hey, you want to have your mom and dad watch your games on TV? Well, I hope they got Apple Plus. Hope they have the CW. Whereas for the Big 12 now, when you have Arizona, you can say, turn on ESPN, turn on Fox, you'll see our games there. Done deal. So it's more money for them in all likelihood. It's going to bolster recruiting. It also helps you stay more relevant because remember, we have the college football playoff expanding. You have the Big Ten and the SEC really leading the charge right now when it comes to relevance. And the Big 12 is doing a phenomenal job, in my humble opinion, staying in that third spot behind those two conferences. They're doing a good job at least keeping pace. Because when they add Arizona, that'll put them at 14. There's a lot of smoke around what Arizona State and Utah are going to do, and there's a lot of murmurs and whispers and buzz around them potentially joining the Big 12 eventually, putting them at 16 schools. If you're at 16 schools, you're going to be a relevant conference, especially with the schools they have within the conference already and the reach they have from Central Florida all the way out to Waco, Texas, all the way out to Colorado. Like, the Big 12 is doing a really good job keeping pace here. And are they leading the charge? No, but that's just it. They're keeping pace in that third spot, in my opinion, based on, well, I guess that's up for debate because the ACC is a lot going on with that. I'm assuming Florida State's going to eventually leave the ACC. Another video for another time. Hear what I'm saying. The Big 12 is at the very least in that fourth spot, somewhere in the third spot, probably another conversation. But you hear what I'm saying. They're keeping pace. And I think it needs to be talked about. Brett Yormark has been that guy for the Big 12 Conference. Because Oklahoma and Texas left, and I was living in Waco, Texas at the time, right smack dab in the middle of Big 12 country. And when that news broke, everybody that I was talking to was saying, hey, yeah, this doesn't look good for the Big 12. We're talking about Baylor going to the Pac-12. We're talking about TCU maybe going to the Pac-12 or TCU going to the Big 10. And just everybody was assuming that the Big 12 was going to come apart at the seams. And Brett Yormark looked around, said, hey, listen, somebody here isn't walking out of this whole conference realignment situation. And it's not going to be us. Someone's going down. It is not the Big 12. And credit him, he's not a politician. He's not someone that's from this, college sports world. He's from the entertainment business. Walks in there, goes on offense, adds UCF, Cincinnati. He adds Arizona now. He adds Colorado. He's just gone to work adding and getting this conference back to 14 teams. And I think it's a lot of credit due to him being so aggressive on this front and not settling for whatever fate the Big 12 was being dealt at that point in time. So Arizona, again, it's on the 1 yard line of them getting into the Big 12 conference. The situation is extremely fluid with what other schools are doing in other conferences, but I'm encouraged by Arizona making this move. I'm an Arizona fan, and I'm encouraged by what Brett Yormark has done if I'm a Big 12 fan. So a lot of pieces going on. Like I said, these rooms are small. There's people with a lot of power and a lot of money, so these storylines can change very quickly. We talked about it on our live show on Thursday. Again, we're live Tuesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you're locked in. I would be slow to trust a lot of the headlines we see about schools not doing something. Because with the rooms being as small as they are, the narrative is very easily controlled. And so until we have concrete evidence, until documents are signed, until we got football being played, until we get to 2024, I'm going to be very, very slow hearing that Oregon and Washington are not joining the Big Ten Conference, or that a certain school is not making a move elsewhere, or that a certain school is making a move somewhere. Like, be slow to trust those things. Because with the way the narrative can be controlled, they can flip really, really quickly. We said it on our live show on Thursday. I'll say it again. We were all convinced Texas and Oklahoma, they're not leaving early for the SEC. That was a done deal. That was reported. That was essentially what was going to be the case. A week later, the narrative flips, and they're going to the SEC early. So I'm just saying, let's be slow to trust here. Let's take this thing at a leisurely pace. Let's not be too quick to jump to conclusions. And when things are solidified, then we can really talk about them, and then we can speak with a little more certainty, because before then, a lot of it's going to be smoke screens, in my opinion. Appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all being tuned in. Make sure you're subscribed. A lot going on in the college football world. Realignment's going on, but we are 22 days away from week 0 of the college football season. That's a beautiful thing. Let's enjoy that. Let's not look past that. Let's celebrate that. Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.